I'm not getting you.
You're not getting me at all?
I got you now. Good.
There you go. How about now?
There we go.
How are you?
I'm good. I need to go share this out. I'm always looking down at my phone.
It's like all good. Look at me. Go ahead.
Hey. Yeah.
Hey guys, welcome to Sober Talk. You're here because you want to get sober, you need to get sober, or perhaps you're just sober curious. Whatever the reason may be, we are glad that you are here. So, how do you know if you have a drug or alcohol problem? It's real easy if it causes problems. I have quit many a times, 3 months, 6 months, a year. The last time I went 2 years, and I always go back out because I get the alcohol out of my system, but I don't fix me.
Yeah.
And so hey, we are here. We got Mr. James Sweasy with us. And you know,
Hello.
James is from RAC. And dude, I gotta tell you, I'm liking that shirt there.
Thank you, brother.
What did I say? I say Scotch soda on it.
It does.
That's
It does.
so,
They make the best clothes.
That's so.
You know what I mean?
Man, I tell you what, my bourbon tennis shoes, they're so comfy. Hey, I do before I got an email. I don't know if they can see this. No, you guys can't see this, but it's just like a lot of small letters. But the email is this: Hi Tom, it's a long one, but I think it could kick someone's arse. Ladies from she's a fan from New Zealand. Earlier in 2020, it became apparent to me that my sister, 15 years older than me, was getting very sick because of her drinking. I was watching her vomiting, then a couple of days later, her nose would stop bleeding. Then it seemed like overnight, her balance went. A few days later, she didn't have the energy to take the rubbish out. I guess that's the trash in New Zealand. And then this proud, usually immaculate drunk, stopped doing her makeup and even soiled herself in front of me. And on the same day, asked who I was when I entered the room, having been gone for a few minutes. That was the day she allowed me to call an ambulance. She spent 8 days in the hospital, then discharged herself and started the pattern again. I was so angry with her, but at the time, I did not realize that your liver damage can cause serious brain injury. She and I then flew to the largest burns unit in Auckland, New Zealand, where she had 5 operations whilst in a coma over 2 weeks. It was when doctors were talking about a sixth operation that I asked for a meeting to discuss her future. A team of doctors advised that if her liver and kidneys weren't so bad, that she would have been able to wake her up. They could have waken her up by now. And when pushed, they advised that she will never wake up. Yeah, so she asked the doctors, no, she's never going to wake up. Her machines were switched off, and she passed away a few hours later. I was holding her hand, and when she died, vowing to give up drinking myself. So she and her sister were both drunks. And the week following her death, I stayed in Auckland, locked myself in a motel, and drank like there was going to be a national shortage of white wine. Yes, white wine is all I drank. I never reached for any other myself. 2 days after my arrival home, I woke up very thirsty. I went to the bathroom to look in the mirror to give myself a good telling off, and to my horror, my eyes and skin had turned yellow. I mean, really yellow. That day I got really drunk, wrote a to-do list of things to tidy up before I died. Not fun stuff. I mean, hide the evidence and failures. I then cleaned the house, threw out all old clothes, packed a suitcase. I bought some cigarettes and purchased my last bottle of wine. I told myself that if I could drink just half of it and tip out the rest, then I was a winner. I won. Though on this day I'm in a sober state, I thought they would just feed me and take care of me, pat me on the head, and tell me I was having a breakdown due to my sister's death. So anyway, she went on to say that she is sober right now, and she's just trying to keep it all together, and she loves sober talk and such, and that is very, very cool. I mean, when you see something like that, we've had a couple guys. We had a guy on the phone that he's actually in your facility now, and who I thought a story very similar. That you think there's no hope. And you think what can I do? But I just really I hate
That's why the opposite of addiction or alcoholism is connection, right? The people that think there's no hope, like the person you're talking about,
Yeah.
sat there for a very long time, drinking a lot of cocktails every day,
Yeah.
watching themselves go down the tube, and then for whatever reason, it was you. You were that person that
Got him.
yeah, that he felt comfortable telling about it.
I
So
got another guy on the phone today, and you probably know this guy. He's I know you've seen him, and
yeah,
his wife died December 3rd, and she her I forget how what he said. It was alcohol related, and he says now his sister, he has not stopped drinking heavily, and he was already a drinker since she died, and he has two young daughters, about your daughter's age actually, and he said I'm reaching out to you. He said I need help, and
yeah,
he's not ready for it yet, but
right.
he said, but he's not going. I said, dude, you got those two kids, you gotta. I said,
Sometimes that pushes through. Telling people that, reading a story like this, hearing something like
uh-huh.
that, but that's described in the book as frothy emotional appeal, and it says frothy emotional appeal seldom suffices. Right? Like people could tell me. I remember being at the doctor. They knew what I was doing from tests. They could see
Yeah.
track marks on my arm, and they'd say, you're gonna die, right? And I'd say, yeah, it ain't gonna hurt me. I've been doing this for so long. The frothy. Think about your kids. Think about your wife. Frothy emotional appeal seldom
Is
suffices.
that
Telling people
frothy?
frothy. It's
Frothy.
just frothed up. Frothy emotional appeal. Here's all these bad things that can happen to
It
you.
sounds like Mike Tyson trying to say frothy the phone man. Sorry.
but
Frothy.
I love the dad jokes. They,
Yeah.
but that, but the idea that think about this: if somebody is to a point where they don't care about their own life, how can you convince them by saying, you're going to get sick, you're going to die?
Yeah.
If they don't care to live anymore, that's not their priority, then that's not going to work.
She says, to cut a long story shorter, over a period of 8 days, I heard the words edema, cirrhosis, enlarged kidneys and spleen, hallucinations, thiamine drip, water tablets, diazepam, etc. over and over. But all the while, I was kind of having fun, thinking of myself as a bit of a comedian. I entertained others in the hospital, and she said she still didn't take it serious. They told her she was going to die.
Yeah, you don't take that seriously. Of course they're going to tell you that.
Oh, jeez. And she said, "What a blast I was really having." It's and then I heard the words end stage liver failure. My world stopped. But the doctor who mentioned it didn't know that I was the first I've ever heard of it. And it meant to be a couple of lines long. Sorry about a waffle. Sorry about my waffle.
A waffle.
I don't. This again, New Zealand. She
They
said
had waffles
they had waffle. They have a waffle house that served white wine apparently.
in New Zealand.
We're going to hell. I'm sorry, guys. This is just how we do it. This is so sad. She said today is 5 months to the day since I had my last drink. 5.5 months since my sister died, and 6 months since she fell on a hot stove and burnt her body and beautiful face. Will I ever drink again? No bloody way. How long will I live? Who knows? Apart from aching all over due to one of the meds, I look and feel great. For us bright sparks who knew that the liver can regenerate itself when damaged. No one told me that once it hits end stage, there ain't no reversing. I thought they could just cut out the bad stuff and voila, in a month, good liver will have grown in its place. This is not so. All those years of thinking I am invincible, and if I'm not, at least my liver is booger. Sorry about the novel-sized email. I had watched some of your show and thought maybe someone will listen to me and change the destruction before it gets to the end stage. So she thought her liver was going to repair, but I think it was too far gone to repair itself.
Sorry to hear that. It said ain't no in there after all those words. Are you sure she's not from Nicholasville?
I think she said, yeah, you know what? That's a Nicholasville accent.
Nicholasville, Kentucky.
Look, and we are squashed. Look at us. Look
Did
at
it
our
squash
yeah.
again?
Look,
It did.
It shot. It zoomed in. It
I'm
does that.
interested to see when this shot rolls around.
Yeah.
And
Oh, this
it's,
one here. Yeah. So let's see if you're squashed here. So, what is going on? You spend all day, every day helping people. Does it ever get tiring?
It is exhausting, right?
Is it?
It is. It is. I always tell people this. I don't mean to be rude to you or say I'm not trying to be rude to you or complain at you or whatever. I'm trying to fight you. I'm trying to fight your disease. I just have to go through you to get to it, right?
Right.
So it's exhausting and rewarding all in one. And I mean, some of these guys will come in, man. Some of these kids, 19 years old, 20 years old, and because of their behavior, the way they're acting, things that you're like, man, this kid does have no shot. In your head, you're thinking like, this is going to be a handful and take 20 years. And when you see one of those, like a 17-year-old or an 18-year-old celebrate 4 or 5 years of sobriety, I think about where I was at, you know.
Yeah, I wasn't ready to get sober I wasn't at 40. I wasn't ready to get well.
No.
I did for 4 or 5 months or something.
Yeah. Those brief intervals.
Brief intervals.
Yeah. But whenever you watch someone actually, no matter what their age is, it is actually a friend of mine. You should actually have her on the show. Her name's Meredith.
She sounds hot.
Yeah, Meredith's cute. She's a good friend of mine. But she got sober under the age of 21. So now she can say she's never had a sober drink
Yeah,
in her life.
Real quick, let's see who's Joe Harris, always the first, and Joe Southwick. Hey, folks, he's second. Mark Kellogg, you may know him from Frosty Flakes. Brian Biggerstaff, hey, Brian. Bruce James, Ted Watson, Tess Peavy. Hi, Tess. Tess just celebrated her 6 months on the show. Were you here during that? Was that you, or was that when Tess Peavy, remember the girl, 6 months? Was that you?
If I'm not mistaken, you called me after you got off the phone with her.
That's right. That's right.
I think you called in. I see my buddy Steve McComb in there. What's up, Steve? He's a podcaster.
Steve McComb, Sweasy, yeah. Penny Bishop, Cat Line. Hey, Cat Lulu's here. So we're nice little the gang's
we got a
here.
Good group going on.
Boy, Jeff Graham did well last night. He's starting to do podcasts for me. He comes down, drives all the way down from Cincinnati, and we do this together once a week. And people love Jeff. He's a great guy. They love you too. But I know you're busier than a cricket and a hubcap, and I appreciate you coming over here every once in a while and co-hosting.
Oh man, I love it. And I wanted to. What we were discussing earlier about I'm watching 146 viewers right now.
Yeah,
that's amazing. I don't care how many millions of followers you have. I got a couple 100,000, whatever. When you can get 150 people to sit in one spot and kind of hang out together and talk about this topic right here, it's great.
And there's a lot of people, Kenny Rice said he rocked it. Yeah, he sure did. There's a lot of people who are almost ready to ask for help.
Yeah.
And folks, there's in this community here, we have people who can, if you're in Alaska, you probably have friends at a treatment facility up there or something that you can get them into.
Absolutely.
I want to take the stigma away from getting help.
Yeah.
I really, really do. And I don't know.
For me, the way to take the stigma out of it is, I have to tell you, I stopped caring. When I checked into the Healing Place in downtown Louisville, it's a homeless shelter, 9-month-long program, brick walls. I got a picture of it. I should show you sometime. The detox, most wonderful place on earth. Don't let me talk it down.
Right.
It saved my life. But it was a homeless shelter, right, with a recovery program. And I went through that place, spent 9 months in there, and it just completely changed my life. It was everything to me. And bringing people together like this in this setting, it's everything. Somebody just said on there, I saw it somewhere, it said, James is the best, for real, for real. So welcome to the James Sweasy Show.
Is that your kid? You got your kids making comments in here again? That's I've never been. My dear friend Gary Adams. Gary Adams was my sponsor for a minute or two, and we just I don't know, didn't work. A great musician, great friend. And I'm I gotta get a sponsor, don't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Yeah, we did. Okay.
It's fundamentally important. It says in that book, it says you have to get with someone that is properly armed with the facts about themselves. In fact, it says it says that no understanding can be reached. You can't understand what it is you're dealing with until you get with someone that's properly armed with the facts about themselves.
Yeah.
That understands the low dopamine in the brain, the true understanding of what it means to have a higher power. Inventory yourself. Tell your sponsor about it. Create a roadmap of behavior. Adjust and change the behavior. Make amends, and then repeat every day for the rest of your life. It's really just a design for living.
Yeah, and Gary was talking about the healing place. He says, "Man, just come down." He runs a couple meetings down there. And Donnie Durbin, I don't know if you know that name. Donnie Durbin, he's a monster. He's so great. I talked to him about kind of planted the seed about maybe he'll sponsor. But he I think he's got like 1,200 sponsees.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so
I fellowship with many, recover with few. I do classes down there. I teach. I teach at my at the recovery center that I own, and it really is like get that 12th step. We always talked about this. I've talked to you about it a couple of times. That 12th step where it says you carry the message, you help someone else, right?
Right.
What's the reason for that? Why? Why is helping another person so good? Do you know?
Well, I thought it was part of it helped you.
It does, but why? See, we get properly armed with the facts. We get down into it.
Okay. Well, so he's posing a question. 12th step to do a service to help someone else. Why does it help you? How does it help?
Yeah, how or why does it help you so much? It says, it says in the book, nothing ensures immunity from drinking more than intense work with another alcoholic. Nothing ensures immunity more than working directly with another alcoholic. But why? I'd love to see what the
Comments
the
are.
Yeah.
I bet some of our, I bet Brian Biggerstaff will have an answer. Brian came up from, and I'm so excited. The guy drove up from Spartanburg, South Carolina to be on the show.
That's wild.
And I thought he might have been like a serial killer, so I had my gun down here. I felt bad. Having met James made a huge impact in my recovery and going to Evolve Indy. Going to Evolve? Is that?
I'm not allowed to say that, but she did. So
okay.
Hello, Grace.
That was Gracie.
I didn't use her name ahead of time, but if she says
she's right here with every. Yeah, she's full disclosure right there with the.
That's all right.
First time listening.
Great,
this is great.
Great person though, young, a wonderful person.
Jeff is from Charleston, South Carolina. He says, first time listening, this is great. Tom is so much better looking than James Sweasy. Well, thanks, Jeff. I appreciate that.
It's getting weird.
Hey, let's call somebody.
Yeah, you want to do that?
I do want to call someone. Let's get this.
So I've posed a question in the. I've posed a question. If any of you guys want to answer in the comments, for some reason or other, when I watch a live from my phone right now, it doesn't show me all the comments.
Yeah, it does over here though.
Okay.
Mr. Biggerstaff. Hey, Brian, how are you, buddy?
How you doing, brother?
I'm doing well. What's going on? What's the latest and greatest?
Finally made it home, sat in traffic for about 6 hours.
About 6 days if you're just making it home now. Hey, do you know why the 12th step? Do you have an answer to that? How does helping other people help yourself? What do you feel about that?
Well, for me, I mean, helping other people, that's part of my recovery.
Okay.
Because, we can't keep what we don't give away.
Right.
I think, ain't that how it goes, James?
It is. Absolutely. You can't keep it unless you give it away. That's the 12th step of Alcoholics, or I guess all the 12-step programs. Mm-hmm. It's the 12th step. So yeah, it's part of my personal recovery too. Absolutely.
Even in gambler, with gambling, you can't keep unless you give it away. You're pretty much giving it away.
At the craps table, though.
Yeah, right. So
you're just giving it away.
Brian, so what's going on with you? How are you? You told me to call you. What's on your mind?
Oh, I mean, that was a great question, to put out there for everyone. It's for me, I can't grow or as a person and that's part of working the steps. So if you're not helping others, you're not working the steps.
That's right.
So
yeah, and a lot of people, you said it best a few nights ago. A lot of people go, I tried AA, it didn't work for me. And you go, well, tell me the steps. What? You go,
all 12 of them without looking at the book or looking at a piece of paper. Recite them right now and tell me what they mean and tell me how you used them today. Yeah, 100 times out of 100, I can't.
And I got to be honest, for until I start speaking with people like you and people like my addiction therapist, and until you hear like, oh my gosh, what a great roadmap for life. That is a great roadmap for life, and people don't know, but you got to get a sponsor to help you with those steps.
You do. Somebody that's properly armed with the facts about themselves.
There you go. You got to have a coach. You got to have a life coach.
But he's all over it. He answered the question.
Yeah.
You have to give it away to keep it. And you know what? That's I'm not sure. His name Jeff.
No, this is Brian.
Brian, I'm sorry. Jeff was on. He's your other co-host.
Yeah.
Brian. For me, Brian, I'll admit it right now. That's one of the hardest things for me to do. when you go home and eat dinner and finally get your kids in bed, and then you lay down and pull the blanket up, and you're like, yes, the day is over, and your phone rings, and it's maybe you, maybe it's Alan, and you go, oh, damn it. And then you let it ring like 4 times thinking, I'm not answering this. You have to push the button and stand up and answer it. It's tough, that 12th step, where you have to give it away to keep, because what happens when you have to give it away when you're exhausted? And somebody asks you to come speak or drive from South Carolina to do a show.
Yeah.
Whatever that looks like, right?
I don't know if you saw Brian on the show. He is real quick, Brian. I just want to recap your story. A lot of rock bottoms. Lost his family, everything, jail, in-home incarceration. But he's at a bar, took an Uber home. The Uber dropped him off the wrong house.
No.
And he got into the house. And he went up to the judge that night, and he thought he'd just pay a bail. He said, no, you're going to jail right now. He broke into a house where people live and where they work.
Yeah.
And then the cops came and got him, and didn't you spend 11 days in jail?
Sat in jail for 11 days, wearing the orange jumpsuit, the cool shower shoes, the orange one.
Yeah.
So, yeah, sat
Those
there
are
for
called
11
Bob
days.
Barkers.
Bob. Brother, it was I got to give a plug here, but everything else all right?
Everything's good. Just one quick thing I was going to say is, when I was in treatment the first time, I picked the steps apart. And like step 5, I didn't believe that I needed to admit to another human being. So I was trying to pick and choose my steps. And that's why I ended up in treatment again. So that's why you follow the steps. And a lot of people say, well, I wish there was a set of directions. There is.
Yeah.
It's 12 steps. You follow 12 steps, everything else is going to work out.
But you have to get someone armed with the tools and the facts.
That's right.
Right.
All right, brother. Love you, man. Talk to you soon.
Thanks, Brian.
Love you, brother.
See you, man.
Talk to you soon.
Let's see. I can Brian's what we call speaks program.
Yeah.
Whenever someone talks, and I can tell which step he's talking about by what he's saying. I know which step he's talking about.
I want to get to that point, and I want to understand them, and I want to videotape you doing. We're working
All
on
12 of them.
We got a little bit of Sober Talk Live is this show that I do, and we got some really cool, fun people involved in it, and I'm looking for new programming. And I'm going to do a thing during the day called The Meeting. And it's not an AA meeting. It's a meeting around chairs and different topics, but like a noon show. And we'll probably record it and then air it. Probably won't be live. But you and I think we may stumble upon something here really soon. I'm excited about. We had a meeting
Should we
before
talk about it?
Sure.
We should tell them, because I want to know what the people in here think. I'm assuming there's early recovery, not in recovery, and long-term recovery watching this show.
It's a reality show
Yeah.
about sobriety or struggles and addiction, and we obviously do with HEPA. Is that
HIPAA.
HIPAA. We can't really have.
We
people
remain
in your
HIPAA compliant. is what
Yes,
you're
we will
saying,
be HIPAA compliant, but it's going to be kind of behind the scenes reality show.
Yeah.
And we got a guy back here, Alan, who's back there pushing buttons. I don't know if he's the right guy.
Is he doing anything? He's playing on his phone and
he's playing
vaping.
on his phone.
I thought you were filming a reality show tonight, dude. You should come out and say hi.
Yeah, come out and say hi.
You should lean in and say, oh, he's listening to us, not
Yes,
filming.
that's what he's doing. He's listening.
All that talk right before the show, we're going to film.
Get right here. Get way
Oh,
in.
you're all the
Duck
way
down.
in right now.
Duck
Alan
down.
Wilson.
Alan Wilson.
Yep.
Now this is cropped, so it might have just cut off half your head there.
Oh, yeah, come here, Alan.
Because I use Chrome as opposed to watch this. Here he comes.
Watch on that screen.
There he is.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah, it wasn't too cropped out.
Yeah, not so bad.
You look like a monster. I mean, big. The way the optical illusion of that.
Big Irish monster.
Big Irish monster. Yeah.
But you know,
She's really pretty though, Alan.
she is. Yeah. Them flowing locks. I want to know what the people. So we still have the question. We can answer it at the end or something. Is why is the 12th step so important? Why is it so important? But one thing I wanted to talk about is I want to know what also the people in the audience think. The people watching think about this. If you follow other recovery pages or watching Sober Talk, this is awesome, right?
Right.
And I've done this before. I was on a Recovery Radio FM on the radio, and then we had a podcast, kind of doing it this way. And I found that you always get this group of people that love to hang out with you and watch. But once they come in and watch this, now what? what's next? We're going to do this again next week. Or you do
Yeah.
it 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Which is great. That's a meeting.
Yeah, well, yeah,
right?
right.
A meeting place. But how did they get to follow our real lives, right? I want to know in the comments, do y'all think that's a valid point? Like, do you want to follow our real lives? Do you want to see behind these cameras right here as we're setting up for the show or filming episodes, things of that nature? And Tom, you said it earlier, said, you'll see the struggles in there, but here's the important thing though. You're going to see the successes, right? There's a lot of very successful people in the recovery community that are out here running businesses, starting new businesses, crashing and burning, finding success. I want to show the successes too. The adventures of life that come whenever you stop using.
There's a lot. There is a lot of creative people. There's people who are so actors and business people who've gone on after they got their life together, gotten off the drugs, gotten off alcohol, who have just made huge careers.
Absolutely.
I mean, millions, billions. It's
Man,
just
I believe I believe I'm one of them. I wouldn't say billions or millions or nothing, but if
you're a success story.
If you come from 8 years ago getting dropped off at a homeless shelter by my parents with, if it had cost $1 to get in, I would have had to call my mother, say turn around, they need $1, right? I didn't have it, and to have my 2 daughters that were born in sobriety. A house,
Yeah. Oh, no, you're doing real well for yourself.
Well, I'm just saying, like, if I can do it, anybody here watching this.
This is Catherine Easley. She said, can you think about how to incorporate the families of those seeking help? Yeah, like my wife, like Al-Anon and stuff like that. I know this is more Al-Anon type, however. It is important for all of us to understand the entire family system. And when we all are involved and know how to heal, there are better outcomes. Lulu, I just want to read 3 more. Says, yes, I love reality TV. Catherine says, and yes, the reality show will help so many. And Kat says, I don't care about behind the scenes stuff.
When I say behind the scenes stuff, I'm talking about real stuff of people being with their kids, with their families, with what it takes to set up the show. I think a lot of people
it's a lot of work, and it's Carrie's watching. But Carrie, it's not squash. It's just it's zoomed in because I didn't use. I use Chrome as opposed to Firefox, and when you use Chrome, you look right there. We're not zoomed in there. But right here, half the sober's cut off.
Crushed in.
It's real close. I'm not pretty enough to be that close up. Success doesn't come without failures, Jennifer says. Alan ain't doing nothing, I promise.
That's Daniel
Burton.
What's up, Daniel?
Jeff Shalley says, Brian is great on our Waypoint alumni meetings. Angela said, great job. There's a lot of great comments tonight. And Carrie, I can't see the comments over on whatever the other page is, Tom Mabe Comedy. She says people are commenting over there. I just can't see them. So if you guys are watching on Tom Mabe Comedy or Mabe in America, maybe switch over to the Facebook page, Sober. I'm glad you're here regardless. Real quick, I need to give a shout out to KYS Best Hemp. .com, KYSBestHemp.com. They are sponsoring tonight's show. And guys, if you do buy CBD, Google it. I can't make any claims about it, but Google CBD and whatever is bothering you. And it's interesting. So if you do buy CBD, please show these guys some love because they're showing us love. And check it out. When you're checking out, if you use promo code TOM30, you get 30% off everything that you in your checkout there. So KYSBestHemp.com. There you go, right there. And boy, it's zoomed in. This boy's really zoomed in there. But Carrie will put a link in the description, so we're all good right there. So, but cool, man. So I'm excited about the reality show. I want to do everything recovery. I want my business helping people.
Well,
I want that
you
to
got
be
to
my
think
business.
though. Recovery is everything, right? Recovery is, dude, the first half of the first step is the only part that talks about removal of drugs and alcohol. That's the other 11 and a half steps are how to start your day, live your day, and end your day without resentments by managing your behavior and paying attention to what you're doing, right? So once you do the first half of the first step, you take the alcohol away. There's these other 11 and a half things that will lead you to being able to have your, whatever your dream is, your own podcast, your own TV show, or maybe it's one of my buddies. He owns a huge lawn care company.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'll give a shout out. Can I give a shout out to 502 Lawn and Leaf?
Yes,
I guess I just
502
did.
Lawn and Leaf.
502 Lawn and Leaf.
Please send Sober Talk $15.
but I'm just saying, what this is an instruction manual. And your guy, it was Brian.
Brian
was on the
Biggerstaff.
phone.
Yeah.
He hit right on it. He said you try to pick and choose your steps, right? Like you go to step 1, and I'm just gonna stop drinking, and then I'll jump to step 12, and I'll just go help some people, and I'll be okay. It's not that way. The way to think about it is, those instructions right there. It's a recipe, not a menu. If you're gonna bake something and you skip a step, what happens?
Yeah, you can't skip sugar. You can't. Yeah, you can't. You
Right.
need egg, need sugar. Yeah,
And the 12-step spiritual solution works the same way. You cannot skip over stuff in the middle. It's not going to come out right on the other end. Yeah, there you go. That's a great book right there.
12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Jeff, my co-host, Jeff Graham, got me this.
So the first step is we admitted we were powerless, right?
Right.
Removal of drugs and alcohol. The ninth step is make direct amends to such people whenever possible, making your amends, right?
Right.
Yeah, you might notice this. Everybody wants to jump from step 1 to step 9. What
Right
happens?
out of the gate, and then they just fall off the wagon, and it's too soon. I haven't. I've not made any amends. Almost 6 months, no amends yet.
Good. You need to you have to
I still
change.
hate them. I still resent them.
You have to change the the resentments, we need to work on that. But you jump straight from step 1 to step 9 because, I have the alcohol or the drugs out of my system now. Let me go apologize to everybody and make everything good again. It doesn't work that way. Between steps 1 and 9 is a behavioral change.
Wow.
If you don't do the behavioral change, nobody's going to listen to your amends. That's like calling from a jail cell and saying, I'll never do it again. Or calling from detox and saying, please come get me. I promise I won't anymore. They're like, no, go do the work. Why are you jumping from step 1 to step 9? Am I making sense?
No, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, I hijack your show every time I come on there, don't I?
No, it's great. That's why I
Okay.
have you on. Let's call this guy here. This is Alan. He said we could call him.
Alan over there?
No. Hey, Alan.
Stand up and film something.
No, he's listening to the show. He's probably filming monitors over there.
Hello.
Hey, Alan. It's Tom Mabe and James Sweasy from Sober Talk. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. How about yourself?
We are doing good, brother. What's I got your message, and you say, hey, are you looking for guests? I said, I'm always looking for guests. So tell us your story, man.
Well, I'm actually in actually it's a drug and alcohol class. It's pretty smooth. It's completely different from AA.
Okay, cool.
What we go over is the definition of addiction and denial, which a lot of people, I guess, don't understand that. A lot of people's not taking this type of class, but it's definition of denial would be like, everybody does it. I don't have a problem. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which it really isn't that complicated and hard. A lot of people are going to deny they have a problem when they actually do have a problem. Whether it's whatever substance you're using, alcohol, drugs, or whatever. I'm gonna grab this piece of paper.
So now let me ask you this: so are you struggling, or did you struggle with alcohol or drugs?
No, I've never been struggling on drugs or alcohol. I just had a drinking problem, I guess.
Well, okay. I'm sorry. I don't understand. You never struggle with drugs or alcohol. I just have a drinking problem.
Yeah.
What define that? To explain more on that. What do you mean you have a drinking problem? I'm not being mean. I'm just confused. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be a wiener head or nothing. I'm just
right. Basically, I pretty much I got out of control. I was consuming more and more and more.
Okay.
Wouldn't you call that struggling with alcohol?
I guess you would, yeah.
Or you could go back to that word you used earlier, denial.
Yeah, denial. Yeah, I don't have a problem, but
I just have a problem with alcohol.
At least he came out with it right up front.
No,
I appreciate the honesty.
No, I appreciate it too. I was just confused. I didn't know if I misunderstood you. I'm old. I don't have my hearing's not the best. But how much are you drinking?
I haven't drank since probably a week or two since Thanksgiving.
Not good.
Yeah. Okay. And so you're doing some kind of structured class. It sounds like.
Yeah, we've actually been doing the Zoom online.
Yeah. Nice.
And that's been going pretty well. And let's see, right before Christmas, we had to do 2 meetings on Zoom, and I got hundreds of links to different Zoom meetings, different countries.
Yeah, awesome.
Which I went to one. It was in the UK. It was pretty interesting. It was an AA meeting.
Yeah.
And just hearing from the struggles and everything that's going on with them people in different countries, it's quite amazing. It's pretty much the same as it is here.
You know what'd be interesting to see how one went in like China. Wouldn't it be kind of cool to just kind of drop in on a China AA Zoom meeting?
I've been to through Zoom. I've been to New Zealand, England, Germany, and Brazil, something of that nature,
Wow.
or Central America. Sorry.
So I'm able to see Alan. I'm able to see comments now. We're here, and I want to go through these in a little bit and read these comments. So do you find that these Zoom meetings are helping you, or what's kind of? I'm curious what's working for you. Because a lot of our fans, a lot of our people who watch aren't AA people. They're not church people. They're not God-fearing people. You know, I'm just curious. Do you think it's working for you? What you're doing?
Yeah. I've learned quite a bit about the use and addiction and denial and stuff like that. And the reoccurring would be hanging out with people, and then you relapse, reoccurring stuff. And like I don't have a lot of friends, so I don't really hang out with nobody. I pretty much stay at home to myself, so that kind of helps.
Can I a little bit? I had my not through Zoom, but just regular phone today because I was traveling. You don't have a lot of friends, and I've had to block some friends because they just won't take no for an answer. Dude, come on, I'm gonna go watch the game, and you got to drink. Come on, I don't want you being there. I'm not gonna sit there and watch you drink iced tea. I had a guy tell me that.
Yeah.
But he's a dear friend, one of my best friends. My therapist was talking about today about loneliness and alcoholism. Are you a lonely guy? You said it just reminded me when you said that. What my therapist, he said, yeah, a lot of people just drink because they're lonely. Does that make sense?
I'm not lonely. I'm just the type of person that I stick to myself.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
Well, that's a thing I deal with too, is isolation. I'm a 12-step guy. You don't have to be. But on our little 12-step coin, it says recovery, unity, and service. That part right there, unity, the strength in numbers, the intense work with another alcoholic, that kind of thing. That's how I survive as a 12-step recovery person. So I particularly don't hang out with a whole bunch of people. I keep my circle tight.
Yeah.
Fellowship with many, recover with few. I will go around all the big groups and all that, but I have just a small group that I recover with, really.
That's the best way to do it, since you're not around all the people who are consuming drugs or alcohol.
Yeah.
I own a drug and alcohol addiction treatment center. I'm around people that are high all the time.
They come in high, don't they?
Oh yeah, blistered.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. But hey, that's what we're there for. We catch them when they're on their way down.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Alan, anything else you want to add? Anything else happening there, or that we need to touch on?
The program that I'm in is actually a local program, and it's probably about 20 minutes away from me. There's 2 steps to it. You got your meetings, and then after you're done, I think it's like 6 weeks. No. Yeah, something like that. 6 weeks. It's probably about 12 weeks. You got like 6 weeks of regular normal classes, whether we're getting back in the facility next week, so it's all going to be in person and not over Zoom. Then I got 2 more meetings on a Tuesday and a Thursday of next week, and then I go to after hours. Or I go to after care is what they call it.
Let me read something here, Alan. And I got a question for you. This is from Ashley Ann Roca. Love that you do this for people. I'm a struggling alcoholic addict and been in search of help via online. May it be meetings or something like your show. I just wanted to thank you for taking your time to help those of us out here. Ashley, this is just a stepping stone to something. You got to find. It can't just be the show.
No. I mean, it's good that the show is an attraction to people. You want to come in, you want to see the successes of other people, things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
But let me be clear about this. If you're struggling with alcohol, and or addiction or drug addiction, this stuff will kill you. Period. You go up to the top of the page, you click the message button, you send Tom a message, or you click on I think he has his email listed up there. You go to sobertalklive.com and you send a message. And then if you're really ready to tap out, if you're just watching the show now, being, what did you call it? Sober curious.
Yeah,
If you're sober
curious.
curious, great. But if you're saying that this is causing problems and tearing your life down, you go push the message button and tap out and say, please find me some help, and watch what happens. That's what we're here for.
Yeah, and we will. Wherever you live, we will help you. We will point you in the right direction.
Yeah, we'll get on the phone. We'll try to find some options. That kind of thing.
Yeah, and the email is sobertalklive@gmail.com. Sobertalklive@gmail.com. Well, Alan, real quick, so you're doing some AA meetings, or you're doing this other program mainly? Or I'm not sure what your program is, but it sounds really interesting.
It's different from AA. It's a drug and alcohol classes. It says it's totally different from
I've
AA.
been to those.
Yeah.
Oh, I know all about it. I've been to those. Yeah.
Awesome. Brother,
Like
thanks for... Go ahead. I'm sorry. I want to read
The AA meetings that I went to on Zoom that I had to text, of course, I had to get credit for it.
Mhm.
They had like 3 or 4 different speakers, and they would explain or tell their stories, and then once everybody was done, then everybody could ask questions. AA, and I didn't. And they kept saying sponsors, and I'm like, sponsors, because I don't know nothing about AA. I just know about the program that I'm in, and then the guy that runs the program that I'm in explained it to me last night.
Oh, good. So are you going to get a sponsor?
I don't need one, not in this program.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Alan, good luck to you, brother, and keep those sober days coming, brother.
Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Y'all take care. Take it easy.
See
All
you,
right,
Alan.
later, Alan.
That was Alan from 812 area. I suspect he's at in Indiana area.
Sounds like Indiana, don't it?
This is from Luke Meisner. I now work at the hospital where a used stove caused massive destruction. Not only did they eventually hire me back, but I have seen enough of the change that I power greater than myself, working through me to promote me to the highest levels of leadership. If I can do it, anyone can. So this guy he stole from this place. He at a hospital, and they hired him back.
That's where all those ventilators went.
That's
Damn it, Luke.
James just won the internet for the night. That's very funny. So yeah, I can't see all the comments over here, but yeah, this is Kalea. She's when you are sober, go to an AA meeting. If you don't like that meeting, look around for different places. Go to 90 meetings in 90 days. Be committed.
Yeah, look, man, there's people toying with it, which is fine. Look, I didn't get sober till I was 36 years old. I didn't ever talk down anybody, but you're toying with it. You're thinking about this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
Look, if you're an alcoholic like me or drug addict like me, you're going to die, right? This stuff doesn't play anymore. It's not smoking weed and drinking Budweisers out by the curb anymore. These kids are shooting heroin. They're shooting what they believe to be heroin, and it turns out to be fentanyl. And right now, I got to tell you all the truth. I hate to take it to a dark place, but the casket business would be a wonderful business to be in right now. So don't play. If you're really if you're here to hang out, great, welcome. If you're really struggling and watching this, send us an email message. Let's try to stop one more funeral today. You know what I mean? That's the thing about my job. You were asking.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's tough. You're giving of yourself. People are walking out on you or whatever. And that one person goes back to their bed, some kid, 19-year-old, and you go, okay, we prevented a funeral just for today.
Yeah.
Just for today.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry to give it to y'all like
and
that.
people got to know, too, it's not all business. I've seen you turn people on what you met, look, we're going to get you a scholarship to a place in Cheyenne, Wyoming. I got a buddy over there. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. So it's not, it is a business. We want to, and I'm telling you, that casket thing, you got my wheel spinning now.
Yeah.
About the business of the caskets. Pretty handy with
Hey, look, man, if you're watching this show and you're struggling, my apologies, but I'd rather you be mad at me than hear about your funeral, so get mad.
Yeah.
It's okay. Reach
We
out and
had
get
out
some
in
help.
Bullitt County, where I'm from, where meth and stuff run rampant. We had people go to a kid's funeral, his friends, and then like a week later they buried 2 more of the people who attended the funeral.
I've seen that. I went to a funeral one time, and you could tell which car the people were shooting up in outside. It was plainly obvious.
Oh.
that they came to a funeral and they were shooting up out in the parking lot, and you could sit there and watch. You know, like back in the day, you used to tell who was rolling weed because everybody's sitting in the car looking down, and somebody's holding a phone up with a light. Like, oh, they're rolling weed.
Right.
That means something different now. At
Wow.
least in many cases, you know.
Daniel Burt says, I love that James Hart is there. That's the help struggling addicts need. Look, this guy, Jacob Clark, lost 6 friends already. I'm 28. They didn't get clean. I did.
Good for you, Jacob.
Jacob, give me your phone number. I want to call Jacob Clark. You can put it right here. I'll call you right now, or you can email me, sobertalklive at gmail.com, sobertalklive@gmail.com. Boy.
My Dukes, look, said tell them the truth. That's
Yeah.
what we're here
James, tell
doing.
him true, yeah.
Hey,
Josh
man.
Graves, working in the recovery business is rewarding and heartbreaking at the same time.
It is. It's exhausting. You know, when your phone rings at 5 p.m. as soon as you sat down to have dinner with your family, or like I was telling you about earlier, at 10 p.m. And your phone rings, and it's that one person you've been trying to get in for a year, 4 years, a month, whatever it looks like, and you just got to stand up and push the button and go, "What's up, man?" You know,
Yeah.
It says it says anytime, anyone, anywhere. I'm paraphrasing. Reaches out for help, I am responsible. When somebody puts their hand out and says, "Help me," I'm responsible as a sober person to do what I can. And it's easy to go back to bed when that happens.
Joe Harris says, play 2 hours of Old Maid, Slapjack, and go fish with my 5-year-old grandson last night. Sobriety paying off.
That's right.
Yeah,
It
man.
says
I've
you-
been an absentee father. Yeah, I would drink. I miss birthdays. I miss, I go outside. I got to work on this. All right, I got to go to the office or this, because I wanted to drink, or I needed just to, or I was too drunk to do anything.
Oh man, you think I missed family. I wasn't a parent at the time, but I missed family reunions, and I had family members of mine that passed of old age that asked that called for me. They said, "Hey, where's he at? He needs to go up to the hospital and see his aunt before she passed." I didn't go.
Oh, jeez.
Well, they didn't have any dope up there. You
Yeah,
know?
Jacob. Yeah, send me. Just put it in the chat here. I'll delete it. No one's gonna call you. Just me. Just write it there. I can't respond. I'm gonna call this Jacob Clark.
Or shoot it in an email, maybe.
Yeah, sobertalklive@gmail.com. Sobertalklive@gmail.com. Boy,
It's good to see some of my friends in here. Daniel
yeah,
Burton.
it seems
and-
you have seems you have a lot of followers watching tonight.
Yeah, there's quite a few in here. That's all good.
That is really, really cool.
Yeah, it is. I love it. And that's why I love the idea, Tom, of the while you're finding him.
I got it right
And just
here.
so y'all know, I love the idea of the reality show, because this is the talk. This is where we meet up and talk.
Yeah.
But what do you follow after this? Between now and what do you click on for 30 seconds?
I want to go where we go have coffee with Jacob Clark and talk to him about his friends
There you go.
and hear about it. We go meet him.
Hello.
Hey, Jacob, Tom, and James, how are you, brother? Sober Talk.
I'm doing good.
Welcome.
So you're 28 and you've already lost 6 friends. You got clean, they didn't. Tell us about that.
Basically, just grew up small town America. Not much to do. Got into early drinking and drugs, basically. Kind of just progressed from there. And my breaking point was when I was stealing from my little brothers. They're significantly younger than me. They were about 8 at the time. I was stealing like their game systems and stuff to
Drugs.
sell for drugs and alcohol. Yep.
Wow. How long?
But the big one was stealing money from my grandpa, who was living with us because he was sick.
Well, I got a buddy who pawned his grandmother's walker. It's like a souped-up walker.
Wow.
Pawned it.
How much can you get for a walker?
This one
Must have been a nice one.
This one, I don't. I said, tell me your line.
Oh,
So no.
they have ones with brakes on them and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
now,
Oh, yeah,
too,
yeah,
though,
yeah,
so
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Okay.
like 9-speed mountain bike type things. What? How long have you been sober, Jacob?
About 4 years now.
And,
Congratulations.
Yeah. And how did cold turkey, white knuckle it, or did you get help?
I got help initially. Went to check myself into rehab, and did that whole thing. Started learning about AA, things of that nature.
Gotcha.
got out of rehab because they kicked me out because my medical insurance at the time said basically I was good enough. But luckily I had the program that I was in. They didn't let me leave there without a stack of pamphlets of what to do. So did the 90 meetings in 90 days in the local town.
Okay.
And just kind of worked the program, worked the steps, got a sponsor, kind of dove into it. I did make the mistake of, I was told to not go back and hang out with the people that I was using with, which can be, I mean, I'm sure you guys know, can be hard. So I thought I could go back and help them. Had a few relapses there, and over these last 5 years, I've lost a person every year, and then lost 2 straight back to back.
Wow.
It was not. We left his funeral. Went to the bar to drink. Well, they drank. I didn't. Played some pool. Left that night, and I think it was 3 or 4 days later, overdosed. Tried to drink himself straight. Sorry about that. Drink himself to death.
Wow.
He pointed out something interesting there. He said he went back to, you thought you were going to go save some people. I've been there, right? You thought you learned the solution and you were going back to hang out with some people like you were going to help them, and then you relapsed, right?
Yes.
That's that part it talks about. It says our public relations policy is based on attraction rather than promotion. You can't walk in and kick down trap house doors and grab people and say, I figured it out. Come listen to me. That'll get you high before you get them clean.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know,
that's pretty close to what my sponsor said.
Yeah, we tell people all the time whenever you bring somebody in and they say, well, I got to go out and save my girlfriend now. I got to get out of here so I can go grab her. And we tell them, like, look, she's going to get you high before you get her clean. That's what's getting ready to happen right now. You need to be in attraction where they look at you and say, hey, I want to live like Tom, or I want to live like James or Jacob, right? I'm horrible with the name thing. Have you noticed that?
All right. No, I understand.
But, they want to look at, you want them to look at Jacob or Tom or Alan or somebody and say, man, I want to live like you. Then when they come and ask you, that's whenever, remember the hand I was talking about that's always ready? When they ask you, then you say, okay.
Yeah, that's tough. Because, my sober friends got tired of hearing from me. It was, man, well, I want to stop one day. They're like, they really got tired of it. Because I went years talking about, and then someone give me tough love. Like, dude, just don't even call me till you got 3 months sober.
There it is.
Yeah, that's when I finally start. Or they just change the subject. They just knew I was full of crap,
Yeah.
That's. Well, man, congrats to you. Do you have any kind of structured things that you're doing nowadays and 4 years afterwards to remind you where you could go? How it could turn out?
Unfortunately, not really. I'm doing the best I can. I've during the NA, and I went to NA, which is basically AA. You guys probably know.
Yes.
And I kind of keep a little thing in the back of my head because one of the meetings had a guy that was 10 years sober, and just one night is all it took. One night he was alone, got sad, and that was all it took. So I kind of keep that in the back of my head, that it's never gonna go away.
That's right.
Did he start using again, or did he die, or what?
No, luckily his was a one and done relapse. He's from what I know, he's back. He's back and he's good.
I got a confession to make. I'm blacked out right now. I don't even know where I'm at. I fell off this morning. One and done. I don't think I could do one and done.
No, there's no such thing for me.
No, I can't. That's not gonna be me.
No.
Well, Jacob, brother, thank you so much for telling your story, and I'm sorry about the loss of your 28. What part of the world you live in? Middle America?
Midwest Kansas.
All right, gotcha. And what you working guy? What do you do?
I'm a security officer at a casino.
Like I said, cool.
Did he say Kansas?
Yeah.
I drove through
Yep.
there before. There is nothing in Kansas.
Yep.
It's just birds are passing out trying to find a place to land. It's just nothing in any direction. I was like, man, get me. I'm sure it's nice. Don't get me wrong, but that drive, that was a little tough.
No, it is.
Oh,
I've driven it. I've driven it.
There ain't much there. There ain't much here.
It's like driving to Evansville from Louisville. I don't know if you ever made that trip. That's miserable.
Yeah, it's awful.
All right, Jacob. Thanks, brother. I appreciate you.
All right, thank you guys, and
luck,
I
Jake.
really appreciate all the work you guys are doing.
No, it's awesome. Thanks
Yeah,
thanks for the call.
I love hearing
Have a good day.
I love hearing a good success story like
Me
that. You know what he
too,
said?
me
He went to treatment first.
Yep.
Then he got him a sponsor. He worked the steps. He had some stumbles. It says we claim spiritual progress, not spiritual perfection, right? So he didn't do it
What's
perfect.
the stuff he's talking about? His insurance said don't cover anymore, and they kicked him out.
Right. So I can answer that. I deal with that a lot. So basically, to give you an idea how that works,
Okay.
somebody might come in and say, here's a tough one. They say, I'm using methamphetamine a gram a day. I haven't slept in a month. An insurance company will tell you, well, that person doesn't need detox because there's no physical withdrawal symptoms, as if you were drinking a fifth a day. You know how your hands start shaking on?
Yeah.
So they'll tell you that this person is not fit for treatment, certain levels of treatment. And then sometimes you bring somebody in that you can think of the difference in somebody that's taking 2 painkillers a day and they say, I need to come off, versus someone that's drinking a gallon of alcohol a day. They're going to say, the person that's taking 2 painkillers a day, yes, they need detox, but they need much less than the other person. That's what he's talking about.
Wow.
Now, it's up to the facility. I don't know where he went. It's up to the facility whether to kick him out or not. If the insurance says, I'm not going to pay for this no more than 10 days or 20 days or whatever, we have a philosophy at the Robert Alexander Center. We treat people, not benefits. So if somebody's there, let's say they've been in detox 7 days, and then an insurance company says, oh, that's enough, 2 feet, and say, I'm good.
Yeah.
We don't stop until they stand up and say, I'm good.
Nice.
So,
Nice.
yeah, we treat people, not benefits. That's one of our policies.
I like what Daryl says. He said they have to want it. We can't make them want it. And that's exactly what my friends were doing to me. You know, I just got to where, like, no more. I can't do this anymore. This is insane.
You can't make them want it, but you can false bottom for them. And what I mean by that is I'm an interventionist, right?
Okay.
So here's what a false bottom looks like.
I think that's so interesting.
Yeah, it's a thing. We can talk about how to. Matter of fact, I can tell people. I do interventions over the phone where they don't have to pay for me to fly there. I tell the family how to do it, right?
Wow.
But I forget why I was telling you that. My ADD got a hold of me right there.
We're talking about your new car. I got ADD too.
But anyway, when I'm looking for leverage, right? Whenever I'm dealing with a person, I was false bottoms. Here's how you create a false bottom. Let's just say
you gotta go to a doctor in Hollywood and they take this fat and they inject it in your butt.
And then it's fake. But they
false bottom.
Right. But let's say take a 20-year-old that's living with their parents right now, right?
Sure.
Shooting heroin in the basement.
Okay.
And I get the phone call all the time. The parents say, look, we tried to get him to go to treatment. He won't go. Watch. They walk downstairs, say, go to treatment. He goes, no, get out of my room. They go, okay. And they leave. Okay, that's obviously hardcore enabling. Here's what a false bottom looks like. You bring them a trash bag and a suitcase, and in the suitcase you have a toothbrush, toothpaste, clean shirts, clean socks, stuff like that, and in the trash bag is empty. And you present both of them and say, you can put your stuff in this suitcase and you're going to treatment right now like a grown man or a grown woman, or you can put all your crap in this trash bag and we're dropping you off at the homeless shelter. You get to choose right now. Most families won't do that unless they're coached by an interventionist, right?
Right.
But you always tell them, you're giving them a choice. And then when they say, no, I'm not going anywhere, you cut their phone off. You take the battery out of their car, take a tire off so they can't run outside and take off running. And now they have no cell phone, nowhere to live, and they've got no car, and they have a trash bag in their hand. And you make them choose between going to treatment. So you can raise the bottom. That doesn't mean that they're going to get it, though. Just like the gentleman said.
Can I tell you that exact same? There's a Walmart up here. It's not a Walmart now. It's something else. What's that place called?
Malibu Jacks.
Malibu Jacks. It's like you take your kids.
My kids love that place.
A guy I go to church with, young kid, good kid, brought up in the church, great kid, got caught in the wrong kids. Why? He's a teenager. And they kept on enabling. And finally he says, no, I'm not giving you another dollar. I'm not giving you anything. He lived behind the dumpster up here,
right,
behind Malibu Jacks,
and that's what
it was a Walmart.
That's what the gentleman in the comment was talking about. Like he didn't want it, so he said, "Okay, I'll go live by the dumpster." Like the comment was correct. I'm just saying, as an interventionist, I try to false bottom, and some people do though. We call it catching alcoholism, right? Whenever you get forced into a place, then you like where you're at, and you realize, wait, this is way better than I was living. We call it catching alcoholism while you're in there. Like, oh, I do have this thing,
Yeah.
and so
We had
people
a guy.
are ready when they're
there,
ready.
there was a guy in Louisville. He was a guest, and I forgot. I think Gary set us up with him, or Donnie Durbin set us up with him, and he lived in the bushes down by the river, the Belvedere, I guess, and he's walking. He'd go after on Main Street after the subway would close. He would go dig the bread at night, and he said he looked so bad. He wouldn't walk around. He said I was a guy that walked down the sidewalk, and people would run to the other side of the street, so they wanted to counter me.
Yeah.
And so I get the bread. In fact, he says walking, and some guys they said like, let's say his name's Tony. No, I don't know his name. And they said we want to take you somewhere, and they took him to the healing place.
Yeah.
And he said he's walking around. He said I had shit stains in my hospital gown that I had on, and I had all these clogged up places where he's shooting up and everything.
Yeah.
That was his words on when he said it on the
That
show.
was like me when I got taken in there, kind of.
Yeah, well, this might have been your story. It might have been you. And they said, look, if you don't like it, well, you can go back to the bushes on the Belvedere.
Yeah.
Okay, so just give it a shot.
The streets will always refund your misery.
The streets, God, that's awful.
That's what it comes down to.
Oh,
If you
God.
want to go get your ass kicked again, you're welcome. There's the door.
Wow.
But if you want to live like we live, you sit here and you get somebody that's properly armed with the facts about themselves. You take direction. And when they say do something, if you're taking direction, you do it, you work on it. And as long as you don't pick up, you get to mess up and try again tomorrow.
Yes.
But for me, like that guy said, a one and done relapse, I don't even know what the hell that is. No such thing for me. If I drink, we're gone. We're going to the end here.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is guys. This has been great. What a great show. What a great show.
I had a good time.
I need to give these guys a shout out again. They're supporting our show. They're sponsoring the show. It's Kentucky's Best Hemp. They have a website. It's kysbesthemp.com. That's kysbesthemp.com.
It's way better than Kentucky's Worst Hemp. You should
You're
go to
right.
this website.
Yeah, I've tried the worst hemp. It's not that good.
Yeah, it's terrible.
The best
You should
hemp
go to
is
this
much.
one.
That is very funny. You're very funny. Upon checkout, you can use promo code TOM30 and get 30% off. So kysbesthemp.com, promo code TOM30, 30% off. And if you look, like you said earlier, if you want help, if you need help, don't die, email me. It's sobertalklive@gmail.com. sobertalklive@gmail.com. I think Carrie has the email. If you just want to go to sobertalklive.com or email me here on Facebook, we will point you in the right direction.
Yeah, and
Now,
if you need Tom to reach out to my admissions department, let me be clear that my center is not for everyone.
Mhm.
Not everybody can make it there, whatever. My admissions people will help you find something. We will point you we'll put you in contact with people that can help
That's
you.
so great.
And I'm willing to offer that to you as like, if you find somebody and like, hey man, this guy doesn't know or this gal doesn't know where to go, give me a call.
What is I'm just curious. What's your it's Richard
Robert.
Oh,
Talking about my website?
yeah.
Robert Alexander. There it is. It's up.
Yeah. It's a good looking facility.
I'm sorry I interrupted your commercial too, though. I couldn't help that
No,
one.
it was very funny.
Are they okay with that?
KYS
Yeah, do I owe them money now?
No.
Like, okay.
No, they're good. But this is your facility. This is a very, very pretty place. And I like it a lot. So yeah, check out robertalexandercenter.com. And again,
It's brand new.
It's brand new. But don't get the worst hemp, like you said. Get the best hemp. kysbesthemp.com, promo code TOM30. We love you guys, and we're out of here. Thank you. That's a good show, man.
That was good.
real good.
Getting our rhythm a little bit, aren't we?
Nah, so nice. So nice.
I don't know if this is good for you or not, but whenever we create those micro content, or the kind of little short reality show clips, maybe they're only 10 minutes and we scale them to 30 minutes. I don't know. But I don't know if it would be beneficial to put them on Mabe in America. Do you think people would see them and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go watch that"?
If we could drive it, yeah. If we could like a little a sizzle reel.
I posted like a little behind the scenes with the Sober Talk Live, James Sweasy. I had 5 people message me on Tom Mabe.
Yeah.
It's like.
What did you post on?
friend
Did you post on
knows him.
Facebook?
It was just pictures, and I went live for a second of like.
Hey guys,
stuff.
thanks for watching. Let's see if we can get out of this here.
Oh, we're hot mic. That's all right.
I'm hot mic right here, just back here. You guys aren't hot mic.
Oh, okay.
There you
Oh,
are.
that's cool right
There you
there.
are. Guys, I love you so much. Thanks for hanging out with us at Sober Talk Live. And do me a favor, though, for real. Show my friends. They're definitely helping out with like gas, getting Jeff down here and stuff from Sweasy. It's kysbesthemp.com. If you buy CBD, give these guys a shot. It's really good product, merchandise, and it is promo code Tom30. All right, love you guys. Thanks.
Now you can see the vision.